All right. We are ready to kick this thing off. Guys, welcome to tonight's Next Wave Mentorship Call. My name is Jason Brown. For those of you who don't know me, Chairman 500, been involved with iMarkets Live. Long story short, for 3.5 years, and this company has absolutely changed my life and continues to put me in a position to grow every single day. And I am so happy and grateful for what we've been able to do. I feel, so amazing that, me and a few really close friends saw this at the time that we saw it. We caught the vision. We understood that with this vehicle, we had the opportunity to go out and impact and change people's lives while also putting ourselves in a position to win. And so our whole thing is about serving and giving back and, really just putting value out, because we know that, yes, we become successful, and the individuals that you're going to hear from on these calls every single Wednesday have created a level of success. Okay, yes, absolutely. But what we also know is that success is only great if you can share it with other people, right? Success is only fun, and you only get fulfillment from success if you're able to pay it forward and pass it forward to other people, because empowerment is the key, right, to becoming self-aware, self-conscious, and at the end of the day, or self-conscious, and at the end of the day, also self-aware of where you want to go. So tonight, guys, we're going to do exactly that. We're here to pay it forward. We're here to put value out there for the individuals that are starving for success. We had our company convention. Drop a 111 in the chat box below if you were in Las Vegas for the Iml Unleashed Convention. Look at this. Absolutely incredible. Guys, I've been involved in this industry, this profession, for almost 6 years. Okay, I've been to dozens and dozens and dozens of events around the world. Actually, I've been to hundreds of events around the world. And I will tell you, that event in Las Vegas was the best event that I've ever attended. Okay, we had some of the most amazing training from some of the top leaders in our company. And I left that event regenerated, rejuvenated, and just really re-energized to go out and really make things happen in 2019, because I understand that we are at literally 1% of where the company could be as far as potential is concerned. So tonight, guys, we're going to do our absolute best to get this window of time that you're giving to us. We're going to do our best to give you as much value as possible, so then you can go take that information and apply it. And I want you to remember, people said knowledge is power, right? And I've heard that. Knowledge is power, knowledge is power, knowledge is power. And I heard that growing up quite a bit. But I will tell you, knowledge is powerful if you apply it. Because there's a lot of people who know a lot of things that don't do anything with it. Okay, so at the end of the day, tonight, you have the opportunity to get wisdom from people with tremendous amount of experience, right? From people that have done things at a big level. And my advice to you is to get a notepad. If you're taking notes on your phone, that's great. But if you're trying to watch this webinar on your phone, you're trying to take notes on the same phone, that's probably not that great. And one thing that my mentor told me years ago is that a short pencil, listen to this, a short pencil is more powerful than a long memory, right? Anything you write down is going to go further than what you try to remember in your head. And to be honest, you could lose your phone and your notes are gone. If you have a notepad, you write things down, you're going to retain the information. You can go back and get it. So that's my little rant on note taking. But guys, note takers are leaders. So here's what we're going to do. I was in Europe for 5 weeks, came back. We had our company convention, and I am so excited to get back on these Next Wave leadership calls and continue to serve and give. And, I was thinking about how can we kick off this week's Next Wave leadership call. And one person came in mind, and I really wanted to tag team tonight's webinar with this gentleman, because I will tell you, I love a lot of people in iMarkets Live, and I have so much respect. I mean, we've got hundreds and hundreds of leaders that I literally look at as role models and individuals that are just servant leaders in their communities and countries. But 2 years ago, I took a trip by myself down to a country that I had never been to before, a little island in the bottom of the Caribbean, right next to South America, that I didn't even know existed. And this gentleman immediately, from the minute I met him, made me feel like I was at home, made me understand that you know, the world is really big, and I wanted to go and just meet people from all over and experience culture. And over the past 2 years, this gentleman not only has become someone who I consider a mentor and someone to look at as a role model because of who he is as a father, as a husband, and as a leader, but also has just become someone that I truly believe is one of the most powerful, well-intentioned trainers in the company. Okay, now some of the people here on the call tonight from the US, you have not really had the opportunity to see Luke because Luke has not been able to get out of this beautiful country, Trinidad and Tobago, to come up to a convention. But I have. I've been able to go to Trinidad 3-4 times, and I've been able to be a part of behind the scenes leadership meetings, and also to see him teaching hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of people. And it's pure, it's real. And I think what you guys can learn from Luke Kwamina, who's also a chairman 25 in our company, I think what you can learn from him tonight is really going to help take your business to the next level. So I asked my brother Luke Kwamina to be on this call with us tonight to really kick this thing off. And guys, I think you'll be very happy with that decision. So without any further ado, guys, let's throw a ton of love in the chat box. I am so excited to have Luke on here with us tonight. So let's throw some love, some gratitude. You guys can drop some ones in there. And I'm going to pass this over. Luke, my brother, are you out there? I see you on here. So I think I got to make you the host. And then you could pop open your video. Let's get it.
JB, what's up, man?
There he is. My dog. I set the stage for you, bro, so no pressure.
Too much pressure. I got to give it right back to you. You know, I listened to the introduction, and, you know, the time flies when you're having fun. And I do remember that first trip you came down, and you had no clue where you were going. And if anybody knows Jason, he's gonna show up and just fit in. He's not gonna look for any type of special treatment. He didn't look for any type of 5-star treatment. He just fit right in, and he became family from day one. So I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve here. We have so many people on the call, and I know there are several leaders. I know Matt is on the call, an exceptional gentleman. Congratulations, Matt, on your recent covenant. I wish I could have been there to celebrate you, but don't worry, we got that in place. When I travel, we're putting things in place to make sure that we can celebrate together. But I want to thank you, Jay, for allowing me to add value here. I don't know if we're going to just discuss or if you just want me to flow or whatever you want, I'll do it. But I always really like to start, you know, giving honor. You could never give enough honor or too much honor to where things begin. And too many times have we seen people acquire a certain level of success, and you don't know their story, or you don't hear the people who really added value to their journey. And it will be dishonorable of us to believe that we have something to add without understanding the context. I always tell people that the platform is more powerful than the microphone. Somebody gives you the ability to speak on a stage. If there was no Christopher Terry and Isis De La Torre, there would be no events. If there's no events, there's no mic. I know a lot of people say, well,
All right, guys, I don't think this is my Wi-Fi. I'm not 100% sure. If you guys can hear me pretty clear, do me a favor, drop up. If you could hear me clear. Okay, so you guys could hear me clear. Hey, Luke, I think we lost you. Up. All right, hold on. I think you're muted. Now you're unmuted. Hold on one second. There we go. Luke, you there?
Yeah, are you hearing me?
Yep, you're back.
Okay, let me just make sure you guys are hearing me clearly now.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, just let me know. Let me know anytime I drop out there.
Okay.
All right, perfect. So as I was saying, I want to just give back honor to Christopher Terry and Isis De La Torre for the vision. Jay, if you pass back the host to me,
Oh, I got it. Okay. Yep, got it.
Oops. All right, perfect. All right, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, you know, we got to understand, hey, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for them. And I love the humility of our CEO. I love his tenderness. I love his heart. I love the fact that he sees many of the leaders we have today as sons. And that relationship is very, very important because, you know, relationships are always more important than accomplishments. If you've been around the industry for a while, people will leave in a heartbeat thousands of dollars when relationships get weird, when people become disloyal, when people don't keep their word. People will leave a paycheck, leave a company, leave a position in a heartbeat when relationships don't work out. So relationships are more important than the actual accomplishments that we actually fulfill and we attain. So it's very important, even in your prayer. Hey, Lord, you know, cover him and his family, protect them, guide them. I see Jason and Alex and Matt on planes all the time. And I'm always conscious that what they're doing is not so much just about their paycheck. They're adding value on every part of this globe. And many times, you know, they put their lives at risk for the company's benefit. And we mustn't take that lightly because it's time away from their family, time away from their loved ones, time away from the people who are special in their life. I also want to give it back to Mr. Brandon Boyd. You know, you may not hear a lot about Brandon, but I'll tell you, Jay, when we just came in, if it wasn't for Brandon's responsibility to put out the many trainings and videos and presentations, I wouldn't have had a clue of how to do the presentation if it wasn't for Brandon. You know, Brandon, very organized leader, somebody who has really structured himself in the industry to be an educator. I want to give it up to Brandon. I don't know if he's on, but I just share with him that we really want to honor him because of the success that he has created in the earlys. And, you know, many of you paid a price before all of us showed up. You know, I think about Dr. China, I think about Dr. Jewel, people who were here long before we showed up. You know, we stand on the shoulders of those giants. And so I'm very excited to really just give honor back to those who have served before you and Matt, who have stayed in the trenches long before everybody showed up. We could never forget the fact that you guys believed when there were no evidence, no results around, and you guys stuck so that we could stand on your shoulders today. So guys, if you really appreciate Jay, if you really appreciate Matt Rosa, you appreciate those who stood in the gap long before most of us showed up, hit 888 in the chat. Let's show them some love and some celebration if you really, really, really appreciate them. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. You see, honor is a law. Honor is a law. I don't know any leader that receives genuine, authentic honor, where somebody celebrates them, where somebody gives to them, where somebody serves them. I don't know any genuine leader that does not respond in everything that they have, their strength, their resources, their thinking, to try and add value to a person who honors them. And that's the law you want to keep as part of the culture of your organization. Now, anytime you squeeze me, what's going to come out is always leadership. And the reason for that is, you know, leadership is life. And I'm going to show you really how I can add value in one sense to those of you who are leading organizations. You might be brand new on the call. Welcome on the call. If you're brand new, you say, hey, I'm first time in the industry. I want to do some big things here in iMarkets Live. I'm looking forward to doing some great things in the industry. Welcome on the call. But I want to just add just simply 3 laws to your leadership kit. And it's very important because here's what I'm going to say. Some of the things I'm going to say might be a little bit hard, but I've learned in life that not everything that is good for you tastes good. And sometimes sometimes, you know, we've got to add a little honey to it to make sure that it tastes good. But I tell you, if you really want to grow, sometimes you've got to hear things that you don't want to hear. And I'm going to share some of those things with you because it's very important that if we're going to grow as a company, we've got to face the truth. It's the truth that allows us to be set free. Now, let me say this. One of the reasons why we're very unique in the industry right now is not because we've just brought network marketing and Forex trading in a synergized, dynamic type of deal. Yes, there are many companies that are trying to copy that whole concept. There are many companies that are trying to do it, and there are many people who stay far away from it because they did not believe it can work. Our current results today have not only proven that it can work, but we have produced leaders who are now top earners in the industry. We've put a stamp out in the industry. We're a little past 5 years, and anybody understands where a company passes the 5-year period. What it says to the rest of the industry is we're no longer a babe with our fingers in our mouth. We're about to move from milk to solid meat. At this stage in a company's life, if most of you understand where we move from formation to concentration, concentration to momentum, momentum to stability, we have not yet even hit or scratched the surface of momentum. So the results that you're actually seeing right now are still results from people who are a part of us in the concentration phase. So if you understand the real millionaires, numbers of millionaires have not been birthed yet in the company because we're not at that stage where the company shifts in its trajectory as far as the numbers and the growth as yet. We have not reached that place as yet. But I'll tell you this, I've not been in the industry of network marketing for long. Let's just call it about 8 years. But I've been around leadership all my life. And I get to tell you this tonight, that no company escapes having to face the fact that everything rises or falls based on leadership. We don't get to escape it. It's not just the comp plan. Yes, we've got to have an aggressive comp plan. We've got to have products and services that work. Yes, we've got to have the systems. Yes, the credit card's got to work. Yes, the backup. None of those things really matter. There are companies that are billion-dollar companies and still have credit card problems. So if you want to understand the world of business, I want you to lean in tonight so you can really understand what you really have in your hands, because some of you really don't understand this as far as the world of business. You can still have credit card issues on Amazon today. It has not stopped them from being a billion-dollar company. So how do you really find the worth or the value in a company? Products change. They don't stay the same. Product development is something where people are always trying to upgrade their products. Compensation plans change. That does not stay consistent forever. Those things change. If you're around the industry, those things change. What makes us unique are not the things that are coming out of our hands and the things that we serve as a company. You may think that our product position in the market is what makes us unique. What makes us unique is that you cannot duplicate Jason Brown. You cannot duplicate David and Chanel Immoniti. You cannot duplicate Alan Badia. You cannot duplicate Ivan Tapia. You cannot duplicate Christopher Terry. You cannot duplicate Isis De La Torre. You cannot duplicate Alex Morton. There's only one of them. And I'll tell you, the greatest of companies, the greatest of football teams, the greatest of basketball teams, the greatest of baseball teams, the greatest of business teams has never been the uniform. It has never been the ball. It has never been the stadiums that they operate and they play in. It's always about the players on the court. You don't ever get a Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen with, what's his name? How could I forget him? Three-pointer. Michael gave it to him in the last and the three-peat. Somebody could probably remind me of his name.
Dennis Rodman, Steve Kerr.
Steve Kerr. Thank you, Jay. You could put You could put people in their uniform numbers, but you can't copy the leader. You go back and you talk to the coaches and you said, when you talk to Michael Jordan, when you go back in those days when they hit championship after championship after championship after championship, what's the difference? It's the synergy of the leaders on the court. And it's learning how to lead when things change around us, and things are going to change. The power of this company are the people. The greatest asset in this company are the people. Never before in the industry has the industry faced a team with players like this at the top. You say, Luke, but there are so many good players all over. There are people with great talent, people who can speak, people with years, all of that. Let me just say this. Matt Rosa is not the same Matt Rosa from last year. You know why? Because Matt Rosa did not write a check last year to buy his Lamborghini, but he's doing that this year. We don't have the same Matt Rosa this year. So don't treat him like you treated him last year, because the dude has changed in his value. I'm about to run right now. Y'all get me excited. There are 800 people on this call, and I want you to know Jason Brown is not the same Jason Brown from last year. Gary McSween is not the same Gary McSween. We've got players who are staying off of the bench. And that's the first point I want to make to you. Are you leading in such a way where you're staying off of the bench? See, when we were having problems, everybody's hitting Jay up on the phone. Jay, we can't put in the cards. Jay, we can't do this. Jay, we can't do that. Jay, we can't do this. And I looked at him and I saw what he did. Behind closed doors, here's what he did. He says, listen, I need to get on the court of these matters. I'm not going to sit on the side and be a spectator. I'm going to get on the court and I'm going to sweat. I'm going to put in the time. I'm going to put in the minutes, because the team needs me right now. And let me say this. We all play on different teams. Right now, your family is your team. Your daughter might be sleeping in her room. She needs you on the court of this game. Your son, your mother needs you on the court. Your friends, your family, your co-workers, your pastor needs you on the court in our markets life. This is no time to be sitting down in the pavilion. People in the pavilion, what they do is they talk. But at the end of the day, remember this. When you're in the pavilion, money leaves your pocket and it goes to the people on the court. If you want to attract money, get on the court. Tag somebody right now who you know is on the chat and say, get on the court. Put it right now in the chat. Tag somebody right now and tell them the money is on the court. The money is on the field. The money is in the middle. The money is out there when we are putting in blood, sweat, and tears, not just for a paycheck, but to become a person. I keep telling leaders everywhere that I see them, leadership is the highest paid profession in the world. Check any company, check the compensation of the people at the top, and you'll find that that's where they get paid. So if we want to go fast, we could go with anybody. But if iMarkets Live wants to go far, we've got to have the right people on board. And can I tell you something? I'm a pretty good judge of leadership. I'm a pretty good judge of leadership. When a Christopher Terry comes down to an island with 1.3 people, sits down on a stage just before Christmas, he leaves his family in the NYC, he flies down, he's wearing his normal shirt, he doesn't have on a suit, he doesn't have on a tie, he doesn't have on a jacket, he sits down, he squares people in his eyes, and he listens to their story, and he heard that this one did not eat because they paid their subscription, this one did not have any more money in their pocket because they traveled to come to the event. He looks them square in the eyes and with unplanned, passionate motivation says, hey, each of you, let me just give you $1,000. Not because $1,000 is going to get you wealthy, but if you squeeze me hard enough as a CEO, what you're going to get is love. When I saw that, I knew we had set ourselves apart from every other company in the industry, because you cannot photocopy that. You cannot copy and paste heart. You could train skill all day in any other company, but you don't train heart. You can give hands direction, tell everybody go out, recruit too. You can do that in any company, offer an incentive, but you cannot duplicate the synergy of the hearts and minds who we have at the top. I want you to understand, we don't have good leadership. We have the best. We have the best of the best. So I want you to know, we don't have to worry about the how. You say, Luke, well, what do you mean you don't have to worry about the how? When Michael Jordan walks on and we're in the fourth quarter and we have less than a minute to go, the only two things I need to know is that we got a game plan and we got a leader. We have a game plan and we have a leader. I don't try to figure out the how when I understand who is at the top. I don't worry when I'm with my father. Why? Because he has led me all my life. He's been a father. He's been a pastor. He's been a business leader. He's been the person at the helm of our family. I feel safe under his leadership. Yeah, the boat gets rocky sometimes. Yeah, we get into some tough times as a family. Yes, we run into something. But my confidence is not just in who I am, but whose I am. You hear the leaders in this company give it back to God. You hear the leaders in this company say, hey, we're not afraid that we don't want to make this thing religious, but we just have to at least say it's not us. It's him. The universe has been gracious to us. The universe has been merciful for us. We understand that this thing is not us. And I'll tell you this, because people are God's greatest possession, what we are doing for families today, God is pleased. I wish I could bring a dude on here. He's been a fisherman in the seas for 15 years. He doesn't have a degree, doesn't have any college degree, doesn't have any fancy masters, doesn't have any fancy doctorate. I don't even know if he has basic math and English out of high school. He's been fishing in the seas for 15 years. He stands in a weekly meeting. Last night I called him up and I said, bro, tell me what has been one of your best days? And what's the products that you love? He said, listen, Luke Longmire is a brother to me. I talk to him every day. I message him every day. And let me tell you something, right now on the Gold Cup, I'm averaging. And he tells me how he has grown his account. I said, what's one of your best days? We call him JoJo. He says, one of my best days, I'm hitting about 400 to 500 US a day. I say, how long would it take for you to earn those profits? Because in Trinidad, it's about 7 TT dollars to 1 US dollar. So I said, how long would it take in your regular career, in the seas, in the night, hours after hours out there, to earn that amount of profit that you earned in less than 2 hours on your cell phone while you were out there at sea? He said, I would have to work for about 5 to 7 days. When we start doing that in the lives of average people, having above average results, don't tell me that God is not pleased. Don't tell me that we're not adding value in the right places. We've got the right stuff. But what makes us mostly unique, and I tell you the very first thing, are the leadership that we have in this company. If you appreciate the leadership in this company, put 111, because they are the most important players on the court, the leaders that we have. 111. That's what I'm talking about. That's the love. That's the love. Everything rises or falls based on leadership. Everything rises or falls based on leadership. But let me say this really quickly before I talk to the rest. Leaders, I got to say this directly to you. And when I say leader, it does not mean that you need to be leading 1,000 people. Leadership begins with self-mastery. You've got to lead yourself. You got to say, self, I got to go out and show the plan today. That's leadership. The degree of your leadership is not the amount of people that follow you. It's the level of influence that you have. And I want to say this to all the leaders. We are not out here in this industry just to collect big paychecks, although we've got to do that because it speaks of our success. And we've got to create a high level of success to create a very high lid to attract the type of leaders that will take us to 1 million customers. You don't get to 1 million customers without having the type of influence to attract 1 million customers. It will not be determined by the field. It will be determined by the caliber of the leadership that we have. That is what's going to attract the leadership. And when the shepherds come in, the sheep are going to follow. Now watch this. Every leader has to take a responsibility to raise the standard of leadership in iMarkets Live. That when people see us in the industry, it is very clear the type of leaders that we are raising. Our leadership is a brand in itself. What is our leadership? Our leadership is a brand in itself. When you go to Chick-fil-A, a company, if you read anything about them, their customer service is a brand. There's a type of way a Chick-fil-A server serves you. There's a type of way the company leaders respond and react to each other. There's a type of way the company leaders, there's a culture in that company. Culture eats vision for lunch. You can have the prettiest vision statements up on the wall, but your culture is that stronger determining influencer in your company and your organization. So we've got to set a high standard of the brand of leadership in iMarkets Live. We have to have leaders of integrity. When JB, Matt, David Emonite, Ivan, Alex says, hey guys, we have a certain standard of how we carry ourselves personally on our profiles, on social media, the way we do events. Hey, let's keep the standard high. When other companies are carrying it low, let's keep it high. Let the brand of leadership across the board be leadership of integrity. Leadership who carries themselves and posture themselves a certain way. We don't want to just have undulating success. We want big success, but we want it to last. We want sustainable. We don't want to be those type of what I call fireworks leaders. They come into the industry, come into their company, they make a bunch of sparks and then they go cold. Then we find them in another company, they make a bunch of sparks. Listen, I'm not here for paychecks. I'm here to become a person. If you have not decided to be a type of person in the industry, then you're just going to be here for a while. When I made commitment to Jason Brown when he was in Trinidad, I wasn't about, hey, JB, I'll be here with you once I get to Chairman 100, once I get to Chairman 500. Oh, no, that's a given. We are here to do something a little bit bigger than paychecks. You could go get paychecks anywhere. We have a chance with this collaboration of leaders to do something in the industry that has never been done before. We're going to develop a caliber of leaders that across the board will become a brand and add back the level of trust this industry needs. It's a powerful industry, but many times leadership has lost it.
No, Luke, can you hear me?
Are you there?
Yes, he's back. We can't lose yet before the finish line. You're crushing it. I think you broke. People were saying you broke the internet. You broke Zoom, bro. Keep going. I think you melted.
Ridiculous. And now for some reason. Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. We've got to set a very high standard of leadership. And watch this. Across the board, I'm very open. I'm older than some of these guys, but I'm submitted to them. Because age is not maturity. I'm going to say that again. You've got to be able to humble yourself to grow as a leader in this industry. Ego will stop you from growing. You get a big paycheck, it has how. Hey, a bigger paycheck means I should be serving more. I should position and posture myself to make sure I'm adding even more value to people wherever I go. It's not for autographs or photographs or signatures. I tell people, if you want to leave a mark in somebody's life, don't put it with a pen. Stain it in there so they can remember what you've birthed inside of them, a feeling, a burning desire for them to go and to get it. So the caliber of leadership is what has set us apart. We don't try to compete, we create. We don't try to compete, we create. Everything about the future of iMarkets Live is inside the hearts of the leaders at the top. And as we put ourselves in the right environment, we hold our hands together, we unify. I'm telling you, the key to us is holding together, relating well, and developing leaders as we go. That's I jump off. I don't want to be on, but I say, hey, keep the law of honor. Develop the caliber of leadership that we have. I'm speaking to the leaders, and this is what I wanted to give you before I went off. But the first thing is you get your position, but position is the lowest level of leadership. Rank, don't use rank to equate to influence. You can have a lot of influence without a rank. It's who you are. Secondly, when you leave position, you must now get to what I call permission. People should not follow you because they have to. People should follow you because they want to. At this level, you've got to work a lot on relationship. More people. You didn't message me back. I try to get you after meeting. Alex Morton told me, Luke, stay in the meeting until everybody who wanted to talk to you came to talk to you at the front. Sit your butt down. Alex Morton told me that. I saw him, I saw Jason, I saw Matt Rose said, do it every meeting, every meeting. I say, all right, that's how we got to lead. Because you don't want people to follow you just because you're right. You want them to follow you because they now want to. He's a type of person I want to model. But then you've got to get to production. It can't be all talk and inspiration and we don't get to work. So we got to take inspiration and put perspiration. I have to set an example in my production. I have to set an example in my recruiting. I have to set an example in the culture in my group. I have to set an example for the amount of leaders I'm doing, working with person. Hey, what happens in the industry, and you got to be careful. The difference between a practitioner and an educator is done talking after people listen. When you're a practitioner and a leader, you don't care whether you're on a mic or not. Everywhere and anywhere you go, you're adding value to people. People who are educators only wait for events to talk. They're not going to add value for free. They're going to want you to jump on, pay something. That's why I see a lot of people come into iMarkets Live. They get the knowledge from us. They get the experience from us. Then they want to go create their own thing. I don't understand this. Guys, anything that can be done by you alone, it's not a God vision. God vision always includes. So if you alone can get it done all by yourself, you're running with something that's so small, it's not going to leave an impact in the earth. Anytime you want to do something that will impact others in a massive way, it's going to involve a team and others. So when you die, legacy is you having to form legs, you see. That's why a relay is like life. You run a strong leg, but then you got to hand it over to somebody to continue the race, because many times a lifetime is not enough to see some of your dream. So that's why you have seed, and the seed will continue with your same mission and with your vision. So we can't do this thing by ourselves. We've got to develop other leaders. So I got to produce. But after I produce, I got to work on people development. This is a hard stage. Yeah, you can recruit, but how many people have you taught to recruit? Yeah, you can present, but how many people have you taught to present? Yeah, how many people have. We've got to spend more time, have a breakfast home, have a coffee, put them around your table and start to work with others. Let's start to develop leaders. If we want to last long, we've got to spit out leaders in the market. You can't sit down in a weekly meeting and be the star every week. You can't sit down on your Zoom and be the star every week. You're going to build a small organization. You got to change people out. If you're not planning to substitute yourself, you're going to build it small. Somebody's got to be able to bring the fire when your mouth is shut. Call anybody up. Who am I developing right now? Have a list of them. The last level is what you call pinnacle. 5% of people, 5% of leaders reach here. That means I'm going to get involved because of who this guy is. I don't even know what he's doing, but anything he does, I want to be involved in it. Why? Because the level of integrity he operates with, the way he acts, the way he anything associated with it, that's the pinnacle level of leadership. We've got to constantly work on ourselves. Last night, David Emonite, he pulled me up. He said, Luke, where is your goals printed? I said, I don't got them printed. I had them designed, but I didn't have them printed. And I said, hey, I told my guy with social media, I got to post out this, that I made a mistake. Because you see, when you're involved in training, you always want to post the things that work. But you don't want to tell people when you mess up, even as a trainer or as a leader. I said, I got to put this thing together to tell people I made a mistake. I have a mentor. I got instructions, but I did not carry out with the instructions on time. It doesn't make sense having a mentor if you're not going to put action to the instructions. I said, I got to post that. Why I got to post that? So I let my group know I'm real just like them, and we mess up just like them. And even though we want to be authentic, we want to teach everything, we know we mess up, and we're not perfect. And I don't want them to duplicate this type of leadership that every time you open your mouth, you got something good to say. There's sometimes we should just shut up. Let somebody else talk. That's the type of leaders we want out there because they're genuine, they're authentic. So I said, hey, let me go this morning and print my goals out. Why? Because if you want people to follow you, you make sure you're setting a good example of followership. So I said to my team, hey, I messed up. I was given an instruction. I didn't carry it out. And I went and I did it today. The reason I give my team permission to hold me as a leader. Also, I don't want them to model that type of leadership to their teams. Like they always have it together and they're perfect. We want genuine leadership throughout this company. So that's the type of leadership we want. Last point I'm gonna share this with. We got great products, we got great leadership, we're going somewhere. Where are we right now in the story of iMarkets Live? Because you know, every company has a story. A story is being written. And a lot of times I see in the industry, what people run down is the easiest path to a paycheck. Now, I don't know what values everybody lives by. And everybody does not have to live by the values I live by. The values I live by, the reason I live by them is because I have evidence that they've worked in my forefathers' life, my father's life. I've read them, I've agreed with them, I practice them, and they work in my life. You might have another set of values, and that's all right. It's not right or wrong. It's just what is. But we've gone through some things as a company. Other companies go through things. Right now, there are many companies going through changes. And this is my challenge to you. The first word ever to man in the book, it says be. It does say be fruitful, but fruitful is the second word. The first word is be. And that's why we're human beings. We're not human doings, even though when we get up, we want to know what to do to be successful. But we're called human beings. That means an emphasis must be placed on who we are before what should I do. Because a lot of times when you ask people who are successful, what do I do to get to chairman? They give you a set of instructions that they did. But the key to what they have done was who they were. See, a lot of times a successful person does not know exactly what they're going to do, but they get the job done. What's creating the actions, what's creating the activity is the person they became. If we put an emphasis on our personal growth and our personal development, the books you're reading, the audios, the people you're hanging around, if you put the emphasis on that, then I'll tell you, when you get instructions, you are prepared for it. What do I mean? My connection is unstable. Hopefully you guys are still hearing me. Are you guys there?
Yeah, we can hear you, bro. Yep.
Okay, watch this. and it's really my last point. You got seeds, right? The book says there's seeds that fall on the wayside. The seed has potential. The seed has a harvest and falls on a place that's not prepared to receive. What does that mean? The seed is the word. It's the truth. It's an instruction. It's something that could bring a blessing to your life. But as good as the instructions are from your coaches, from your mentors, from your leaders, from your teachers, from your CEO, from whoever you're from, as good as it is, you have to ask yourself as a leader today on the call, is the soil of my mind, the soil of my heart, the soil of my spirit, the soil of everything who I am, is it prepared to receive this seed? Because if the comparison of your heart, your mind, your soul, your spirit is like the wayside, a place that is not porous, it will not allow stuff in. You're hard. And what's the reasons we're hard? We've been disappointed so much. You don't trust. You put everybody in the same category. You saw this happen before and you lost what you built. You heard this before and you lost it. You had the paycheck and you lost it. Those things make us hard. Things happening in your house right now. Things happening in your family right now. Things happening in your business right now. Those things make us hard. It closes us up. The fact that you're on the call says, though, that you're desirous and you're hungry. So I want to congratulate you. But I don't know what else is happening into your home, because you might get off this call. You might feel fired up on this call. But the moment we end this meeting, your reality is waiting right outside the door. Close up again. The second reason you won't grow by the things that you're receiving is that, hey, some seed will fall, but it never gets to be rooted. For something to be rooted in your life, it must be practiced. It must be repeated. If something is not repeated, it's not rooted. So if I want anything from this call or any of the instructions that I get, if I want it to be rooted, I repeat it. If I want it to be rooted, I put it into practice. Practice is what makes things permanent. So that means I rehearse it. You heard JB say a short pencil is better than a long memory. The reason he's telling you that is not for just you to be informed by your notes, but for somebody else to be transformed when you teach this. See, it's not just supposed to go to you, it's supposed to go through you. Anytime you're thinking leadership, it's never really ended with you. It's about who's gonna be blessed when this thing comes through me. First, it must come to me so it can work inside of me and change me, and then I send it through me. The third reason it won't work, I won't grow by the information that I got. Hey, I didn't understand it, or it wasn't rooted, but here's what the third reason is: that it has too much competition of other influences in my life. I don't know if you're going to be here 12 months from now. A lot of times people say, hey, I'm here forever. Our market's live. I've planted my flag. That's talk. I've heard it many times. A dude told Jesus that, and then Jesus says, listen, I hear you, but you're going to hear this thing 3 times, and by the third time, you're going to bounce. You're not even going to make a move. He says, not me. I'm standing strong. This is Christ. Who won't want to be loyal to Christ? Who won't want to keep their word to the greatest leader that ever walked? And so said, so done. So we hear the talk of loyalty. But what will determine if you're here a long time from now is if you're committed to becoming a person in the industry versus if you're committed to receiving a paycheck. Because I could tell you this, if we don't get paid for 3 weeks, a lot of you will not be in iMarkets Live. If we don't get paid for 3 weeks, I guarantee you Jason Brown, Matt Russo will be trying to fix that junk every day, because they're beyond the paycheck. They're committed to becoming a person in this industry. And they'll meet you come power. They've gone, they have know how to go out of season because their roots are deep in the philosophy of what this company represents. The competition that comes against the things you receive is from probably your spouse. I don't know the relationship you have. I have a supportive spouse, but thank God, but I have to act a certain way to get that type of support. I just can't act anyhow to get that support. Some of you have a job. Right now, you got to go to sleep. You got to go to work in the morning. Some of you don't have supportive family. They speak against your vision. They don't believe in your dream. They don't really believe that you're going to accomplish what you're going to accomplish. Some of you are hearing about other companies, distractions. People want to take you here. People want to take you there. There's a lot of stuff happening. Here's how you stay focused, and I'll finish with this. What are my goals and dreams? Why did I even get started? And it got to go beyond the walls of my market side. It has to be that you when I saw Rosa, when I saw JB, when I saw Alex Morton on the stage with all the network marketers flying in from all over the world, not Fire Markets Live, with Eric Worre across the stand, when I saw our leaders on that stage at their age, I said, hey, there goes the brand of iMarkets Live leadership. That's who I want to aspire to be. And folks, we have the best of the best. We have great value. What we got to go out to do before May 11th and 12th, our next big event weekend, it's focus. I've set myself up to become a type of leader. I've set myself up to root myself in the philosophy of this company. I've set myself up to becoming the type of leader that we want in this industry as far as an iMarkets Live brand of leadership. I'm honoring my leaders. I'm walking in leadership. If we rise to leadership, we'll take this company to places that we have never imagined. I love each and every one of you. It's nothing but love. I really appreciate the opportunity to serve on this platform. I really, again, give it back to my leaders. Those of you who are Chairman 10s, Chairman 25s, Chairman 50s, 100s, Chairman 500s on this call. I see a lot of leadership support here. I don't know who it is on all the names, but I know many of you are here to just support this call. We've had over 800 people receiving value. Guys, keep working on yourself. For things in your business to change, you have to. Bottom is way too.
There we go. Luke, I think you finished it, lagged out right at the very end. But, wow. Guys, can we have a moment of silence? Because, Luke, you just killed that thing. Like, for real, for real. That was, bro, wow. Hold on. Let me make sure. Okay, chat's on. The chat was off for a little while because there's some distractions. Guys, go in that chat box and let's show Luke, Dr. Luke, sheesh, shut it down. I told you guys, like, when the train gets moving, there's no jokes. There's no jokes. So you've got an unbelievable training tonight. But guys, we're gonna keep the train moving. But Luke, before we go forward, bro, I just want to tell you I am so grateful. I took literally, no joke, three pages of notes from you, and I just want to go back and I want to recap a few things that you said, because I think these are the things that were really important to me. And these are also things that I think we can recap to the people out there tonight. Guys, over 700 people on this webinar right now. And there's a lot of really, really, really like high-level, valuable, psychological, philosophical, and leadership type of information that you got. Okay, so number one, the first thing that he said to open up the entire training was relationships over accomplishments. I would say if you could go and reverse engineer any of the top leaders in this company from, P5000 and above, any of the leaders in this company, what they're going to say attributed most to their success is relationships. At the end of the day, if you can keep the culture, and this is one of the things that I'm going to train on myself, but if you can keep the culture in your team revolving around respect, it's game over. So relationships over accomplishments. Okay, he said you cannot duplicate heart, and that is true, because at the end of the day, yes, there's a lot of different places where you can learn how to trade, and yes, there's a lot of network marketing companies, but I think the thing that makes iMarkets Live so unique is the fact that we have people like David Iml, like Gary McSween, like Dr. Spiller, like my brother Alex Morton, who's actually over here, and you guys are going to hear special guests from Alex Morton here in about 30 seconds. He's going to jump on here for a few minutes before he heads home. So there's a surprise. He's swinging a bat in the background. Get ready to hit this thing out of the park. And but you can't duplicate heart. Okay, you cannot take the heart and soul and copy and paste that thing. Okay. Now the other thing that he said is be not do. And I really truly believe this is probably the most powerful thing that he talked about. This whole little section of his talk was, it's not about who we are today. It's about who we're going to become, right? And who we are in the moment, all right? That be is really what will attract the success, right? When I was developing and becoming a leader in this industry and people would leave my team, I used to get frustrated. I used to get upset about people leaving. I used to get upset about people going to a different company. I used to get upset about people not staying on board because I did so much for them. But I realized that people are always following somebody at the end of the day. Everybody's following someone. So if you're not the leader you need to be at that moment, that person who's following you will shift gears and follow someone else who they believe can bring them to the next level. At the end of the day, people always follow the person or the people they believe can give them the results. So yes, I am, right? I am. If you become the leader, people will follow you. The strongest leaders, right? David Iml joined iMarkets Live. Nobody told him when he called them, is this a pyramid? Is this thing going to work? I don't know about trading. They said, David, I believe you. I'm here. I'm doing this. Because it's about who you are. Okay. That is so, so, so important. Then you figure out the do. And it's funny because Christopher Terry told me this morning. Chris is reading Think and Grow Rich again. And he's like really going into like deep personal development from like the super, super deepest roots right now. And he told me, he said, him and Isis are traveling right now. And they went somewhere without a plan. And he said, I told Isis that I made a decision that I wanted to go here and I wanted this. And we didn't know exactly what we were going to get. But I told her, once you make the decision, the how will always get there, right? He said, Jason, you said you wanted a Lamborghini. Matt said he wanted a Lamborghini. You weren't worried about how, right? You just made the decision and then the how took place. Guys, this is very hard for people to understand. But when we got involved in iMarkets Live, I literally looked at Matt and he said, what's our goal? He said, well, what should we make our goal? And what's your opinion on it? And I said, I want to hit Chairmanate in 30 days. And the how never mattered to us once we made the decision about how we were going to do it. So you guys, right in the chat box right now, I am chairman, right? You have to make the decision, not so we can get you hyped up, not so we can get you, brainwashed to become a chairman. You're doing this for you. You're doing this because you have to make that decision that you will be a chairman if that's what you desire, right? I should have just told you I am and then put whatever you desire. Because if you don't desire to be a chairman, then you don't need to feel uncomfortable in this moment. I am a P1000. I am a P2000. I am chairman 10. I am chairman 500. I am whatever. Guys, when you say this, when you make that decision, okay, you don't have to worry about the how. You just got to do it. Okay, that's it. You just got to go out and take action because action is the way to success. So real quick, I've got some things that I really want to talk to you guys about. So please stay on this call if you can, because some of the things that I'm going to give you are more tactical thought process to building leaders, to tap rooting, to really creating momentum in your team. And I prepared some really great stuff. So please stick around. But I want you guys to hear from our executive vice president, one of my best friends. I've known this guy for over 5 years. He's somebody we have some friends over and I was telling them, look, I want to stick by Alex's side in any business for eternity because integrity, passion, heart, and at the end of the day, this gentleman has no ego whatsoever, right? He's here to serve. I've seen him behind the scenes. When things are tough, he stays neutral. He stays composed, right? Emotional intelligence is something that I've been really studying lately. And, his EQ is off the chart. So guys, this call is recorded. So don't worry about that. I'm going to hand it over to Alex and then I'll see you guys in a few minutes.
All right. I was downstairs. I just kept hearing so much yelling and screaming, and then I'm like, I know that voice, and I'm like, oh, that's Dr. Luke. That's the preacher of iMarkets Live. So, guys, I'm going to keep it so short. I know I wasn't supposed to be on this call tonight. I know Jason's going to be on here in a second, but I just want to say, number one, I'm grateful for all of you, big time. Number two, man, there's just so many exciting things going on right now inside of this company. I'm over here in Miami. I'm gearing up for another 2-week tour on Sunday. I'm going to be all over South America, Central America, and there's just so many people that are this close to the next level. People, we got brand new, Chairman 10, Chairman 25s, all the way up, and it's just an exciting time right now. Probably the most excited time I've had in the last 32 months of being inside of this company. So many just amazing things going on the back end with Brandon Scott and Kyle Lowe. I was just on the phone with Rashard Duncan 30 minutes ago. He's jacked up about a couple things, and we got 7-figure earners downstairs, excited about launching with iMarkets Live. I mean, if there was ever a time for you guys to really just say, you know what, I'm gonna go all in and build this thing, it would obviously be, right now. And I caught the tail end of what Luke was talking about. He was talking about be, do, and have, and I just want to touch on that super fast. I'm going to pass it back to Jason. I mean, that is everything. You can learn the tactical information. You can learn how to prospect and how to present the right way, and how to, follow up with prospects, and how to have a home presentation, and how to speak on stage, and how to build relationships. But, the be, do, have is so important, because so many people are focused on having the Lamborghini, having the penthouse in Miami Beach, having, this amazing man cave. Jason's got jerseys all over, the wall, Yankees and Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan and LeBron James. And so many people are focused on having everything. But before you can have it, you have to do the work. And even before you do it, like Luke was talking about, you have to become that person, today. You have to become that person right now. And you have to ask yourself, if I was already a Chairman 10 right now, like I am Chairman 10, or some of you are, I am P1000, I am P2000, I am P5000, I am a master trader, whatever it is right now, you have to reverse engineer and say, hey, if I was actually earning the 10 grand a month right now, what would I be doing? What does somebody making 10 grand a month have to do to be worthy of actually getting 10 grand a month, or 25 grand a month, or 50 grand a month, or, becoming a trader with 100 grand in their trading account? One of my best friends, Luis Fernando Key, he texted me last night. He's almost at 800 grand in his trading account. I mean, it's just bonkers, out of control, off the wall. So I just want to tell you guys, be, do, and have, like Luke talked about, is so massively, massively important. You have to work, from your desire all the way backwards. It doesn't matter if you're making $150 a month right now, if you're making $600 a month right now. If you want that 10K, if you are a Chairman 10, start to do those things today. Start to act, start to dress, start to talk, start to train your mind, start to program your subconscious mind that you are worthy of $10,000 a month. And guess what? You will attract the people, opportunities, locations, situations into your life to bring you closer to that 10 grand a month, because everything operates, everything is always vibrating. And for you to get to your rank, you need to attract amazing people into your life to help you grow the business, to help you, do the meetings and find the people and find the customers and, all of those things. And, be, do, have is massively, massively important. And if any of you guys are in South Florida, I'm going to be with Jeff and Angela Cruikshank tomorrow night, alongside some other amazing, amazing leaders in Miramar, South Florida. So get that information from your upline, Chairman 10s, Chairman 25s, and just get excited. Someone has posted this. I don't know. You may want to. Yeah. You may want to just, now get fired up and get excited for, because, this company, I was talking downstairs with some of these guys, it is a perfect storm of opportunity for anybody to become a master trader, number one. Number two, build a residual income producing business. Number three, guys, this is a sweet spot right now. The people that work hard between now and September, we're going to put 10,000 people in Dallas, Texas in a room in September. And from that point, this thing is going to go all the way up, and you guys are on the forefront of a future billion-dollar company. Today, you're getting trained from Dr. Luke Plowman and Gary McSwain. You're about to hear from Mr. The Lamborghini, Jason Brown, and I'm just so grateful for all of you. And this is an amazing call, and this company is absolutely phenomenal. So listen up, get tuned into what Jason's going to share with you. It's information that's going to change your entire business, and plug into these meetings, guys. There's global events going on every single week in this company, every few days in this company. So plug into these events. Let events build your business and starting to see yourself now. Like Luke said, you have to be it, then you got to do it, and then you can have whatever it is whatever you guys desire. So I love you. I care about you. Here is Jason, Mr. Lamborghini Brown. Let's go. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, brother. Yeah, I'll text you in the morning. All right, guys. Amazing training, and we really do value your time. So thank you, Alex, guys. Let's show them some love in the chat box. And look, we're gonna crush this thing for the next little bit. I do have some really important things that I want to go over with you guys, and I feel like if you take amazing notes on tonight's call, I'm going to get the recording up on YouTube. You can reference this. If you go back on what Dr. Luke taught, and then you can take some of these little things that I'm about to give you guys, I think you can really start to create something very special in your personal business and throughout your organization right away. Immediate takeaways. So, okay, one of the things actually that Matt Rosa and I, we were lifting yesterday in the gym, and he goes, he said, I'm listening to chapter number 2 of GoPro. And I said, and I was so happy that he said that, because I actually had just recommended Jim Rohn's Building Your Network Marketing Business, my favorite audio, hands down. My favorite audio, hands down. I just recommended that audio to somebody like the night before. And I thought to myself, you know what? It's probably about time that I go back to the basics, right? Because every 2 to 3 months, I like to spend maybe an hour or so for maybe a day or two going back to the basics. Now, you know what's crazy? I heard a story, and I want to talk about this for a second. And then I'm going to give you guys some recommendations about tools. But our brand new Chief Marketing Officer, Brandon Scott, was in the, I'm going to turn the chat box off, guys, and then I'll turn it back on later, but no distractions. Let's stay in here so we are conscious of the time. So Brandon Scott, our new Chief Marketing Officer, okay? So we are in a closed door meeting for the traders and educators of IML at the convention. And Brandon Scott told us a story about how he was, I believe, he was an athlete. Let's just say he was an athlete, okay? And the coach that they had kind of had them with a lid, right? They were kind of capped on their success. And this new coach came in, and he was the Olympic coach for Russia. I forget if the sport was gymnastics or soccer. I can't remember. So the story is still relevant. I'm just going to say athlete, okay? But this coach was the coach for the Olympic Russian team. And everybody was so excited to get coached by this guy. Look, we're going to go to the next level. We're super excited. And when the guy started his program, it was literally day after day, week after week, month after month of doing the basics every single day. They just practice the basics. And some people got mad. Some people were like, dude, this is a joke. Some people quit the team. And Brandon became one of the top performers in the world within a year's time because he was focused on the basics. So while other people quit because basic is boring, we've all heard that before. IML TV basics. How many people on here skipped over the academy because we know that reading the syllabus is dreadful? Okay? How many people skip over IML TV basics because we know that the basics are boring, right? Everybody wants to make the money, but they're not always willing to put in the work. They're not always willing to put in the time. And guess what, guys? You cannot get the shine if you're not willing to put in the time. The reason why Luke Wamina is able to get on a webinar and for 45 minutes give value without looking at notes and just going from a place of passion is because he was raised by 2 individuals that showed him leadership from a very young age. He was around environments where speaking things and being successful was accepted and encouraged. And then he spent time behind closed doors working on those skill sets. Gary McSween today is not the Gary McSween that was there 3, 4, 5 years ago. And who you are today is not going to be who you are in 3 to 5 years. But you got to make a decision. If you are able to focus on the basics, okay, and continue to hammer the basics, you will always become successful. And I promise you guys that over the course of time, if you master the basics, you will become successful. So the first thing that I wrote down was the tools. I recommend 3 tools. Number 1, okay, Eric Worre. So I'm gonna actually type these in the chat box, so I will be able to chat and you guys can get this. So I'm gonna type this in as I go so people aren't lost. 7 steps to becoming a network marketing professional. And the name of it is GoPro. Guys, you can go on YouTube, type in what I just said, and find the audio for that training. That's number 1, step number 1. Number 2, Jim Rohn, okay? This is my favorite audio. This is the reason why I'm successful today, okay? Jim Rohn, Building Your Network Marketing Business, okay? And Martin Landry just posted in there. So Martin, my brother, I appreciate you. And then Building an Empire by Brian Carruthers. Okay, and I actually have this book by my side at nearly all times. This book you can get on buildinganempireBook.com. You can also get it on Amazon, but sometimes people on Amazon charge more money than you would pay on his personal website. This book is it's my reference, my source, my network marketing Bible, okay? So I recommend those 3 tools. Guys, if you go get those 3 tools, 2 of them are on YouTube. One of them is a $20 investment, especially if you live in the US or North America. I don't know, but you can get the Kindle version or the ebook version of Building an Empire wherever you are in the world, okay? And it's in the chat box, guys. So I'm going to shut the chat box off. And then what I wrote is literally in the chat box right now. So if you're asking what it was, boom, go to the chat box. Now, the other thing that I would recommend is typing in Eric Worre. Okay, so I'm going to give you another 2 tools. Okay, Eric Worre, 20 in 30. So this would be video number 4. Okay, Eric Worre, 20 in 30. This is video number 4. And then Eric Worre, 90-day game plan. That's number 5. So you have 5 things that if you follow in chronological order, I believe you can achieve anything that you want in this profession, but you got to take action, of course, but that's all the knowledge and information you need to build the skill set. Network marketing is like 5% skill set, 95% who you are. I'll be honest with you guys. If you're not having success right now, you just got to work on you, that spiritual search, that who you are search. That's what's going to give you more success. That's what's going to help you grow. That's what's going to help you evolve. Okay. But if you get the skill sets from those 5 things I gave you, you can never say my upline didn't help me. My mentor didn't help me. Nobody's helping me. I don't get any help. You can't say that anymore because I just gave you the 5 tools that help Jason Brown become who Jason Brown is today. Okay. So let's go forward. Stop reinventing the wheel, right? One of the things that I see happening across iMarkets Live is that people learn a little strategy. They learn how to trade, and then they try to become the guru. Guys, we did not join this company to become egotistical gurus. We joined this company to help people and to attain freedom. Use the services. Use the products. I know a bunch of different strategies for trading, but I am focused on using the tools. Harmonic Scanner, Gold Cup, and now I'm going to be focused on high frequency Forex. Guys, I'm utilizing the tools because I know what works. I know that if I use the tools and I apply what I have learned from those tools, I can go out and teach people, show them how to use the tool, and then they're not dependent on me anymore. They're dependent on the tool. See, if you teach people your killer strategy and they're dependent on you, you will never, ever, ever make residual income. You will make a little bit of money for a little bit of time, and then you're going to realize that everybody is holding on to the back of your shirt, and you can't take the shirt off. Because guess what? When you do, everybody else is going to fall. See, I'd rather build a business that is a true business. But some of you guys, even though you're in network marketing, you're in IML trying to build a business, you're still on the left side of the cash flow quadrant because you're employed in your trading strategy. It's a job. It's not fun. It's not passive. It's not investing. It's a job because you're literally staring at the charts, thinking about the charts, burning all your energy on the charts. That's a job. So you're still an employee. And then your business, you're still self-employed because everything about your business relies on you being the best, you being the only one training, you being the GOAT, you getting the recognition, you getting the flyers, you do it, you. Guys, if you want freedom, listen to me. If you want freedom, start thinking how people who have freedom think. leverage, build systems, dig into people, and show them how to use the system. That's the key. Marry a product. I don't care if you're the best trader in the world. Awesome. Congratulations. At the end of the day, I'll be traveling 60, 70 countries, having fun, visiting the beautiful islands, doing the things that I want to do, and helping my family, traveling, digging into people, doing tours, but I'm not stressed about building the business because I know that a majority of the people are utilizing the tools, and I encourage you guys to do the same thing because it will duplicate faster, long term. Okay. Now I want to talk real quick about fear. Okay. Because at the end of the day, I do believe that one of the biggest blockades for your personal success, one of the biggest blockades for the success of many people is not the fear of failure. It's the fear of success. And I want to read this to you. And this is a quote from the book, A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. So you got to give her the credit. Okay. But she says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Okay, so our deepest fear is not that we don't have the ability. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. And we ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Okay, you are a child of God. You're the highest form of creation. You playing too small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure about you. So at the end of the day, what she's saying is don't be afraid of who you are. Don't be afraid of your talents. Don't be afraid to love people, because guess what? If people are overwhelmed by your leadership, your energy, your passion, your love, your desire to help other people, they're going to go away anyway. But you will attract great people. See, because of who I am, some people have left my circle, but then I got friends like Gary McSween, Alex Morton, Lou Quamina, Brandon Boyd, Matthew Rosa, Matt Green, so many amazing people, John Guaman, the list, Chris Derrick, the list just goes on and on and on and on. So would you rather, at the end of the day, let life sort out all the people who are not going to support you anyway to put the right people in, or do you want to be worried about who you can become? Okay, fear of success, massive. I literally love this. So I'm going to keep reading it because this is powerful. Okay, your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are meant to shine. We are born to make manifest in the glory. And it's not just some of us, it's in everybody. So greatness is in you. You're listening to this tonight and you're like, I can't be as good as Luke. Some of you guys are just afraid to unleash. Some of you are just afraid to unleash your talent because your fear is that you are powerful beyond measure. You're scared of your own ability. You're scared of your own talent, guys. But the universe put you here to unleash that talent. You got to go out and do it. So the thing is, all of you can hit Chairman 10, but first you have to come to the terms with who you are and allow yourself to go out and make it happen. You have to give yourself permission to be who you are. And you know what? If people don't like it, they'll go away. And the people who appreciate you for who you are, they'll stick by your side and you can build an empire with 10, 20, 30 powerful people. So don't worry about the numbers. Okay? Whew. Okay, we're getting fired up. Now we're getting rolling. So the next major piece of how Matthew Rosa and I have helped develop and really just, build consistently. This is one of our secrets, okay? One of our tactical secrets. We build in depth. We build in depth. And I never really realized this until Chris Terry said to me maybe a year and a half ago. He's like, one of your best quality is that you're not afraid to get your hands deep in the organization. He said, I've done this for a long time, and some leaders just work with their, producers. They just work with the people who maybe the most popular on social media or the people who have the biggest tenure or resume. Guys, I believe in talent, right? I'd rather turn the underdog into a success story or just contribute, because we don't do it. It's you, but we contribute, we help, we mentor, we guide. I like working with the up and comers. That's why I started these calls, the Next Wave Leadership calls. I'm not doing chairman developship calls every single week, but I'm doing Next Wave Leadership calls because the chairman can get on the call and be a part of the next wave. And the people who think they already know everything and they already made it, they don't get on the calls, and that's fine, but we'll see you at the top anyway. See, I really, truly believe that if you get deep in the organization, you're going to find that person that needed to hear tonight's message in order to go chairman. And if you didn't get on the webinar tonight, if this webinar wasn't created, then, or if Luke wasn't available, maybe that person doesn't go chairman simply because we did not create. Luke said it. Guys, in life, you have to create, okay? Don't sit around and wait for opportunity. Don't sit around and wait for great things to happen. Create. When you create, great things will happen to you. And that's it. That's one of the major keys, okay? Okay, let's talk about what to do with your time. This is a question that I get a lot. Jason, what do you do with your time? I'm a leader. What do I do with my time? Here's your answer. You ready? I'm going to give it to you right now. We're going to wrap this thing up in 3 minutes. I'm going to give you your answer right now. What do you do with your time? 25, this is an idea. You guys can change this around. This isn't church. This isn't the Bible. You don't need to this is just an idea, okay? So you don't need to do this. But this is an idea, and if you want to do it, this is effective because this came actually direct from my mentor, Brian Carruthers. He said 25% of the time goes to contacting my own prospects. Okay, so as a leader, you need to be in phase one, right? You need to be, if you want to build a big business, you got to be on the leaderboards. You got to be out there recruiting, right? One of my great friends, Cash the Great, he's on his way to Chairman 50. He's on the leaderboard this month. Luke Longmire on the way to Chairman 10. He's on the leaderboard personally. Dr. Spiller on the leaderboard. Austin Godsey on the leaderboard. Brandon Boyd, Michael Angel Martin, on the leaderboard. These people are contacting their own prospects. Number 2, contacting and building through 3-way calls. I want to encourage everybody to get back to 3-way calls. If your organization is not doing 3-way calls, your growth is actually not being tapped into 100%. Now, I don't think you need to be sitting around doing 3-way calls all day, every single day. But if you're a P600, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, and you want to go chairman, you need to get on the phone 5 to 10 times a day on 3-way calls. That's the challenge. Now, I'm not saying if you're not on the phone, if you're only on the phone 2 times tomorrow that you feel bad and depressed. No, I didn't say you need to be. I say you should be on 5 to 10 3-way calls per day. If you can get to 5 to 10 3-way calls per day, guys, you're going to devour. You're going to smash your goals because if you're good on 3-way calls, you can close 3, 4 customers out of 10. If you're good, if you're decent, you'll close 2 out of 10. If you're really good, you might be able to close 5. So if you're doing 3-way calls, imagine you're doing 5 to 10 a day and you've got 2 to 3 people joining your organization per day. Well, after 30 days, you've got the numbers for P2000. After, 2-3 months, you've got P5000 in the bag. Maybe that takes you from P2 to Chairman 10. So get back in the groove 25% of your time, 3-way calls. And you can also do like one-on-ones, home events, but like 3-way calls are just amazing, okay? Now, the third component, 25%, should go to following up. Guys, the fortune is in the follow-up because I promise you, there's probably somebody that you already showed iMarkets Live to that you have not contacted again because they told you no, or they didn't show up to the meeting, or they told you not right now, and you just wrote them off your list because they didn't show up, or they told you no, or they told you, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, my girlfriend said no, my wife said no, whatever. The fortune is in the follow-up. See, Alex Morton was my friend for years and years, and we just stayed friends, and we kept following up with each other to continue to build that friendship and to understand that, one day, if Alex is unhappy with his company, that he might come over and rock with us. The fortune is in the follow-up. So 25% to the follow-up. And the last thing, the last 25%, he says, is to calling and developing leaders, right? So you call your leaders and you inspire them to promote an event. You inspire them to promote the promotions. Guys, we have an amazing promotion right now, a 100K giveaway. If your team is not talking about the 100K giveaway every single day, you're playing yourself. You are playing yourself. I know in Gary McSween's organization, he has a mission this year to impact 20,000 families. If they're not talking about that, every single day they're playing themselves, because what you start to put into repetition is what becomes your reputation. Okay, so if you are being a leader that's constantly talking about promotions, keeping people going, they're going to be engaged, your business is going to have momentum, you're going to really, really, really have it going great and strong for a long period of time. So, guys, that's tonight's training. Okay, I wanted to keep this at directly 90 minutes, so I don't want to go past 11 o'clock because I know there's some great stuff happening on Iml TV. We got some really good stuff cooking. So, guys, I appreciate everybody for being here tonight. I'm excited. I'm going to start to put together the agenda for next week's Next Wave Leadership Call. We will see you on Sunday, okay? Sunday, 7-Figure Mentorship, and then we'll be on Wednesday, Next Wave Leadership. So thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to open the chat one last time so we can give all love and gratitude that we want to give. I hope you guys took phenomenal notes. Let's give it back to Luke Kwamina for joining us tonight. Luke, we appreciate you, bro. You really are a role model, a leader, a friend, and somebody that I think tonight gave a lot of people some things to think about and some things to be proud of at the end of the day. So, guys, one more time, have a phenomenal night. Let's go out. Let's make this week an amazing week, right? Just level up, apply, and keep leading in your communities, keep leading in your groups. And remember, we as leaders are the rock for people in our team. So not everybody's going to be as strong as we are, but that's what makes you a leader. So be consistent, be strong, be that rock for everyone else to lean on. And at the end of the day, you guys will have everything you want in life. So everybody have a phenomenal night. Love you. We'll see you soon.